Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to go from one established coach to another very established coach here, and I'm going to kick it over to Kansas City with Kadarius Toney as my AFC bye here, and the rationale, obviously, super young guy, loved the tape coming out, just super fast, super quick, able to separate, in very small areas, which I loved. Um, and him being a former first round pick is another big kind of reason. I know it didn't work out there with the Giants, and obviously he wasn't as healthy as you'd want coming over to Kansas City, but when he was on the field, I think he showed some nice explosiveness. And the thing that I see in him is he's the closest thing on this team to a Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
he's the only guy that can fill that void for Andy Reid. Mecole Hardman was a nice, he's a nice story. He's a fast player. He's just not the same kind of quick twitch athlete that Tyreek Hill. Really, no one is, but Kadarius Toney offers, I think, a similar skill set that Andy Reid's going to be able to exploit. And we saw it in little glimpses. Obviously it wasn't. We never saw a lot out of him. He only had 10 catches on 14 targets, but in that small amount of sample size, he did score 2 touchdowns. So we know that Andy Reid has got some stuff in the back of his mind that's been brewing on how he can use this guy. It's going to be a matter of Kadarius Toney getting healthy, having a full off season, and kind of getting in the program. And I think we're going to see some nice stuff as long as he can stay healthy, which has obviously been his biggest issue. The hamstring issues and all these little soft tissue issues have been kind of his thing. But if he gets it figured out, it's going to be pretty scary what Andy Reid can do with this guy. And you add that to the fact that Mecole Hardman and Juju Smith are both free agents this offseason, and both could be out the door in free agency. It would really just leave Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's, he's a deep threat. He's a throw it long every once in a while type of guy. Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. And Sky Moore is a nice player. We like his upside as well. I think out of those two guys, Kadarius Toney is still the much more explosive athlete. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling, not even guaranteed to be on this roster, by the way. When you look at his contract, he's counting $11 million against the cap, and he's only got $4 million of dead money. So it's not like they're married to Marquez Valdez-Scantling either. If they're not liking what they see with him, over the course of the season, they don't like that contract, they can get out from underneath that thing. And it might just be a Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, and whomever they bring in the offseason. So that's kind of where I'm seeing this. And right now it's not a big investment. If you can get him right now, I looked on the trade finder, a lot of second round draft picks, a lot of just kind of throw in package stuff that had Kadarius Toney just kind of looked like as an add-in piece. I think the time now is ripe to kind of get a guy like this. And if it was an early second round draft pick in the 2023 draft, I would hesitate a little bit. And I don't know that I would make that deal. But if it's a late second round draft pick in the 2023 draft, I'm making that deal all day, because chances of there being this kind of explosive athlete on the, in this Andy Reid offense with Patrick Mahomes there is, for the long haul. The guy's only 24 years old. He could be there for the next 6-7 years pretty easily. I'm gonna take that gamble and use a late second round or mid to late second round draft pick on a guy like Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. I think Kadarius Toney is a special athlete, and sometimes you have to take gambles, right? I like to play it close to the vest. I like to play it safe with a lot of the stars, the guys that I am investing a lot in. But if it's somebody that I'm not investing a lot in, I don't really care that much about the safety. I care about the upside. And could that absolutely blow up in your face and he has 4 catches the rest of his career because he could never stay healthy and he has problems fitting in and, all that kind of stuff? Sure, that's a very real possibility. But is there a chance that he could even become 75% of what Tyreek Hill has been? If he's 75% of what Tyreek Hill has been, you're going to be thrilled giving up a mid to late second. So yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah, mid to late second's not bad investment for the upside you get, but it's a risk. It is a risk. His attitude's terrible. I mean, his attitude from what I hear is like me coming home at 3 a.m. after a night with my boys, my wife's up waiting for me. Like it's not a happy situation sometimes. So for me, Kadarius Toney, yes, does it come with the risk? But yeah, you're still going out. You're still going to have a good time, right? You're going to deal with that when you get home. So for a late second, I'm all in for it. If it's an early second, I'd have a little hesitant because, there's some really good players at the top of this second that offer some upside as well. Definitely if you need a tight end, like these tight ends are really starting to as I'm looking more at the tight ends when I'm supposed to start studying these quarterbacks. I just keep, Luke Musgraves is at the Senior Bowl, Dalton Kincaid, Michael Mayer, Darnell Washington, and there's more names on the list I haven't been able to get into that I've heard good things through the grapevines through people I trust. So very excited about that. But Kadarius Toney, like Matt said, as of right now, as it stands going to 2023 for what we know and what's going to be on this roster, the upside's through the roof. If you could put together and say, listen, man, Kadarius, I also see Kadarius Toney be like, I want that second big contract. This is it. Like I got 2 more years. I gotta put my feet down and go forward with it. Then yeah, he's gonna put up some really big numbers in that offense. And we see what Travis Kelce can do. Travis Kelce's getting closer to 40 than he is 30 at this point. So I know he looks unstoppable. He might be. You're looking for that number 1 receiver still in this offense for Pat Mahomes. He's such a wizard. So I love the buy, and yeah, I love to see if I can get him for a mid-second.